love to go a blundering while leading our attack. As I do, I love to sing while driving my hunchback. I love to fight in city squares, throwing all I see. And when the enemy appears, how happy I will be. Kills for me, look for all. Kills for me, think of all the combat salvage. Kills for me, look for all. Please come find my hunchback. When 100-tonners threaten me and try to strike me down, they soon find I will not flee auto cannon rounds. Kills for me, look for all. Kills for me, think of all the combat salvage. Kills for me, look for all. Please come find my hunchback. I fought my share of enemies and never once in fear. The auto cannon speaks for me, and then they disappear. So bring your best mechs down to me, your pilots I will burn. And when you run away from here, here's hoping you will learn. Kills for me, look for all. Kills for me, salvage. Kills for me, look for all. Please come find my hunchback. The hunchback is a doctrine choice, and if you think that's wrong, then why is it you're listening to our own marching song? Kills for me, salvage. Kills for me, look for all. Please come find my hunchback. There once was a mech that went to war. The name of the mech was a handle for. Ships dropped down, contracts went up, brawlers, Panamex brawl. Soon may the Climax come to bring us battle contracts and funds. One day when the fighting is done, we'll take our creds and go. She had not moved 2 clicks or more when down on her a madcap boy planner called Shaw swore he'd take Bond's man in tow. Soon may the Climax come to bring us battle contracts and funds. One day when the fighting is done, we'll take our creds and go. Before the Merc had hit the throttle, an elemental cramped up and caught her, climbed the side ground, pulled and fought until she burned him off. Soon may the Climax come to bring us battle contracts and funds. One day when the fighting is done, we'll take our creds and go. No shot was held, missiles were freed. The clanner's mind was not of green, as he belonged to the warrior's creed. He'd take a bondsman home. Soon may the Climax come to bring us battle contracts and funds. One day when the fighting is done, we'll take our creds and go. So long. Soon may the Climax come to bring us battle contracts and funds. One day when the fighting is done, we'll take our creds and go. For 40 days or even more, the Mercs went back and forth once more. All mechs were lost, there were only 4, but still that Merc didn't go. Soon may the Climax come to bring us battle contracts and funds. One day when the fighting is done, we'll take our creds and go. Soon may the Climax come to bring us battle contracts and funds. One day when the fighting is done, we'll take our creds and go. Soon may the clan of men come to bring us battle contracts and funds. One day when the fighting is done, we'll take our creds and go. As far as I've heard, but y'all still on the page not cut, and the clan's not gone. The clan Lance makes his regular call to patrol the moon's last day. Soon may the clan of Mex come to bring us battle contracts and funds. One day when the fighting is done, we'll take our creds and go. Soon may the clan of Mex come to bring us battle contracts and funds. One day when the fighting is done, we'll take our creds and go.
We on.
Buongiorno.
Bon swag.
I like that pizza.
Oh, I'll need the big pizza. Well, hello everyone. Welcome to another Tuesday stream. You may notice that this is not a drawing program in Doodles. This is a music thing. Well, I needed a break today. I've been kind of feeling burnt out lately, and I figured rather than just not have anything this week, I figured Storm could make us some fun music, and we could watch him do it.
Hey there. So yeah, I'm just doing my normal setup here, and I will give you guys the logic behind it, and we will make a song. And I'll explain my theme for today. But, I have a habit of, naming songs. This is actually just something I like to teach people. Whenever I'm naming a project, I always name it by the date first, year, month, then day. Because generally you can remember when you worked on something, and many times you will remember that better than you remember the title of the thing. It just makes sorting everything easier. So, always do that.
Sounds very nice, an idea.
Yeah, it's a standard procedure at our studio. Yeah, so today, thematically, given that it is Krispy that I'm making this music for, well, all of you, but it's on Krispy's stream, I should say, we're going to have ourselves some fun and make something Gundam-ish.
Ah, how very appropriate. I'm working on some Battletech minis right now. Well, I mean, it's not Gundam, but still.
Giant stampy robots.
Yeah, so anime mecha battle music is the goal today.
Excellent, excellent.
No,
one day... Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, no special keys, no fancy do's, just the standard type of music I am prone to write if left in a vacuum.
Hey man, I get it. I usually draw mechs and stuff when I'm in a vacuum, so... It is nice to see, because it's... I used to do a little bit of editing in terms of, audio and things back in high school, because I went to Votech for it. But, it's been a while since I've seen people make music, so looking forward to seeing where this goes.
Yep. So we're just going to kind of splatter around and see what we can find. Hey, Meepnix. Hey, Whacker.
Whacker's here. Hello, Whacker.
Hey, Ramshackle. Hey, Andy Vent. Wait a minute. You're in here with us.
It's okay. I'm used to no one noticing me unless there's someone needing to be yelled at.
Oh my god. So we're going to turn off
still
the
love you,
metronome.
I think one day we need to do a build a kaiju game, but only robot parts.
Absolutely. We can do that next week.
Hell, we can do that right now and then draw it next week.
Well, we kind of need like a third person, kind of, because if it was just me, you, and I could do it, but
yeah.
Oh, well, I figure let's search Shadowbone. But I guess the question is, how do you select that?
Yeah, that's always been the problem.
like I'm thinking of a number or something.
So what we're going to do is we're going to do normal song structure here today, and we're going to start with sort of a melodic ostinato to set us off to get a pulse going before we get into the actual intro.
Ramchuck, I wouldn't say that's heat stroke, but it's definitely like you could get heat stroke.
So for those who don't know, an ostinato refers to a repeating pattern that isn't just rhythm or chords, but the combination of both. So
yeah, baby.
Yeah. Hey, remember? Yep, Krispy was needing a good old break today, so I'm musicking for him, and he
Yeah.
is co-hosting for me.
I have a habit of pushing myself too hard, working on stuff, you know. So
I'm just
I just kind of realized yesterday I just needed to like take a bit of a break this week and just kind of, you know, rotate off and work on some other fun stuff. So I'm currently working on BattleTech minis while we're doing this. I got a blood asp yesterday and I need to paint it.
And feel free to send me pictures of what you're painting at the moment.
Well, there's nothing fancy on this one, but I can show the other stuff that I have been painting, and we can post them on stream for people. The blood asp I need to, I'm touching up parts of it with simple green because, well, the Catalyst minis aren't necessarily the nicest ones. This one needs a bit of touch-up with the sprue marks and everything. And I need to watch where I'm putting my hands because I almost grabbed a thing of glue like it was beer. Alright.
This explains many things about your psyche.
Look, it's more just not paying attention than my psyche, because I feel like I'm the kind of person that I would die because I drank something you're not supposed to because I'm not paying attention. Like I grab something for my coffee and it turns out it's like, I don't know, like PCP.
Iocane powder.
Yeah, cocaine. I feel like I would notice if I was like drinking cocaine powder versus coffee.
Wait a minute, this isn't Pixie Sticks!
Oh.
Alright, I'm sending you a picture of what I'm working on. Well, I'll send you a picture of both of them. Why not? I'll send a picture of the Blood Asp, because the Blood Asp is a great mech. It's a clan mech. It's 95 tons, and it has dual Gauss rifles.
How was the long Furbin mech?
Oh, that's what one of the pictures is, working on that. I'm kind of want a secondary color for it, but I'm not quite sure what I want to do.
Didn't you say you want like either light pink or a whitish?
You know, well, you'll see it when I post it, but it's like like I have the hair or the mane, I guess the Furby's mane. I have that painted, but it's like, you know, like you'll have a secondary color on the mech itself. I'm just trying to think like what I want to do for that. Currently, I'm trying to trim off all this. I don't know what do you call like the mold? I guess it'd be the mold lines.
Yeah.
That is kind of the thing I like when you get like a good resin 3D print, is you don't have to worry about shit like this necessarily. Although the Furbin mech needed some touch up, but you know, I feel like it's also just a matter of things.
Yeah.
And I'm also OCD, so there's that. That's a factor in this. So how is chat on this toasty Tuesday? I don't know if you guys are warm where you're at, but here it's about 80, which is interesting because last week it was in the 50s and 60s.
It's probably pretty hot outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're kind of
I do live in the South, I tell you.
We are in the toasty times.
Yep. Yeah, I was outside trimming a bush today, or a hedge today, which thankfully I had power tools, so it wasn't super long a task, but it was definitely warm.
Yeah.
Side note, this might be a total dad thing to say, but I'm really enjoying this era of electric powered tools because, God, it makes things much easier. Like a battery powered weed whacker and such.
I got to use a battery powered chainsaw the other day. That was extremely helpful.
Oh yeah, no, that's fun too. Yeah. Like I could obviously I still think there's a use for like gas powered ones, especially like larger ones. But that having that electric battery power is pretty good.
I can't believe that they're battery powered lawnmowers. Like that blows my mind.
Oh yeah, my brother's got one. Although I think they now have a riding mower, which is not battery powered because it's a bigger property they moved into.
Yeah.
Hello. My cat has joined us, Pudding.
Ow.
You know what? I'll storm a picture. You can show chat pudding.
It's about 87 down here, and it's going to get up to 90 in the weekend.
Damn, that's a lot of rain, bully. Hope you got like something amphibious. Just as a heads up, if you hear me yelling the words pudding, it's my cat. I'm not going insane. He has a habit of getting into places. Do you know what he did the other day? So Sunday morning, I am jolted awake by the sound of glass breaking and just what turned out to be a whole little shelf collapsing because he likes to climb things and he decided that's where he wanted to go that morning because he was on top of the dresser, and then it just, man, he just broke this little like glass orb thing, just shattered it. And it was being a big little pretty kid. It's hard to stay mad at him though. He's so adorable, and he's the friendliest boy. He's currently getting ear rubs from me. I mean, I'm called insane, but that's for other reasons, heck.
Hey.
I got the autism. Actually, I'm autistic, which I feel like I've said that before on stream, but I feel like I should say that because I know people that probably are on the spectrum watch this, and I don't want them to think I'm just saying that to be... I mean, I am saying it to be funny, but you know what I mean.
You have the pass.
I got the pass. Yeah, I have the card. That's my word.
Concern.
Also, I hope people in chat are enjoying all the little fun signs that we have now, the branding that Lady Red has done. She's doing a pretty good job with it, and we've got more stuff on the way at some point. So, it's looking like a solid brand for the channel, as someone who has a graphic design degree.
Oh, you talk about red stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was neat when she did that picture that had everybody that streams on it. Everybody but me.
Well, if you're...
you were basically brand new then. I wouldn't take that to heart. Like, there was one she did when Whacker and I had only been here 3 weeks, and we weren't on it, and we felt sad, but...
Andy, if it makes you feel any better, I don't know if you've listened to the latest BPL podcast, The Intermission 4, but they talk about the Ox podcast, which is a great podcast, and they mentioned a number of the members, and I'm on that podcast, and they didn't mention my name, and I'm just like, guys, I'm right here. Talk to me on the podcast.
They were on it, like, not too long ago.
Well, yeah, we had them on for the Oxversary last year. I know we want to do something this year. I'm not sure what we've got for that, but, you know, stay tuned. We also... Alien is very much in the progress of... Stop telling me about my ad block on YouTube. I'm not getting rid of it. Alien is very much in the progress of editing the Star Wars series we did, Galaxy of Thieves, and that's going to be coming out hopefully at some point, you know, towards the end of the year. Although he's making pretty good progress on it, so who's to say? But if you want to follow the Ox Unplugged podcast on Spotify, we're going to put that out eventually, so that'll be a fun listen. It got real stupid.
And something you made got stupid? No.
No, that doesn't... I know, right? Not on this stream. This is a Christian Minecraft stream.
Yeah, a lot of my musical tastes, like most musicians, their musical tastes will form between the ages of approximately 9 and 16 years old. They still keep forming until you're about 30. And while you still take on things that you like, the kind of core tenets of what you like are established in that age range.
Yeah, I can see that.
And earlier than that, too, technically, like, before the age of 9, but 9 is where you start, like, actively choosing the sounds you want to hear. And so, a lot of times, then, what you listen to during, say, middle school is really going to define your tastes in music. Unsurprisingly, I was a Toonami kid and a PlayStation 1 kid.
You and I probably had similar taste in music.
So things like Cowboy Bebop, Outlaw Star, Gundam Wing.
Yeah. I'll say that I have discovered a lot of music as I've gotten older that I really enjoy, and a lot of it is more out there, not necessarily in sound, but out there in like knownness kind of bands. But for the most part, I've got genres that I'm definitely more like keyed into. So,
Yep.
I'm listening currently to a '70s band called Hawkwind, which is really great. I recommend checking him out. It was actually the band Lemmy was in before he joined Motorhead. And I discovered him thanks to a podcast, but it's something I've only recently gotten into. But it's also like, it's both stuff that it's got bits of it that is definitely keys back to what I enjoyed as a kid, but then it's also got more, I guess, more of like, for lack of a better term, my modern taste, so.
Yeah.
Whacker, everything for you is late in life. Don't make me send you DMs, Whacker. I'll send you DMs.
I'm going to run on the assumption, Whacker, it's because you're a father and you enjoy annoying your children.
Oh, so Whacker sees me as his daughter, son.
Oh, let's go with daughter.
I feel pretty.
Oh, so pretty.
Oh, witty and bright.
Sorry if I'm not saying much. I'm kind of Scrooge McDuckin right now.
Define Scrooge McDucking.
I've gathered up like all of the bowls and jars of coins that have littered the house, and I'm kind of like putting them in those little paper roll thingies.
Ah.
Like the bank.
You're pinching the pennies.
I'm counting my money. money.
It's like that video of like the crab processing line, and they're all saying money. And then just they get like vivisected with a buzzsaw.
Whacker's threatening to mail you ethically sourced fire ants.
Oh yeah? I'm gonna mail him a Furby glitter bomb. Not only will he have a Furby, it will spew glitter in his face. And that's when Whacker shows up at my door with a hatchet.
Sensible.
So preferable to the Jehovah's Witnesses, anyway.
Hey.
Well, I'm more saying that because that actually has happened to me, and it's just like, guys, I live in an apartment. Come on.
Okay, I see what you're saying, yeah.
I just don't like solicitors in general. It's just like, look, just leave me alone. I know I'm not telling you about my gas.
Hey, Charles Darles. Sorry, Charles Darles, welcome. First time chat to WBPL 76. We are legally defined as entertainment.
Yes. Welcome to our wonderful little stream here.
Join us on our Discord, the Auxiliary. It's a silly place.
Yes. Full of many silly people.
You catch us at a time where Krispy, our normal host, needs a break today. He is co-hosting with me here. I'm Stormsong. I am currently hosting as a musician at the moment.
I normally draw on these streams, but today I need a break because I'm feeling somewhat of a burnout. PSA to anyone that works on stuff out as like a side job or side gig.
Okay, so apparently he's called us for quite a while. Just never commented.
Either way.
Welcome anyways.
Welcome anyway, yes.
I think you were saying something, Andy. I was excited about new person.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I'm just saying, like, and I'm not one that should really, like, be taken as an expert in this because I am really bad at self-care, but don't be afraid to take a break with shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm kind of dealing with that right now. Like, I'm feeling burnt out because I have a hard time taking a break. Like, I make a sort of a rule to myself where, Whacker, I am going to mail you paintbrushes covered in pig shit. Where was I? Oh, right. I kind of make a rule for myself where I try not to go more than 3 days without drawing.
That's a good.
And you know, it doesn't have to be like a commission or like a major project, just drawing something. And, you know, for the most part, that's good, but I also have a problem actually, you know, taking some time for myself at points because I always want to work on stuff. Just, like I said, I push myself too much, and I mean, this is more just getting into me as a person, but, you know, there's just so much shit I want to do, and it's just like the amount of time to do it. It's just like I want to spend all the time I can on it. But unfortunately, that you do that, and it kind of burns you out, and kind of just need to step back at this point. Which, yeah,
Yes. So we have
a struggle.
we have a Discord called the Auxiliary. I'll just hit the link again because it's up there.
Yeah.
But join us there. It is a silly place. It's the public-facing arm of the Black Pants Legion.
Yes.
Some of us hang out over there. Some flee in terror of it. Quite the silly place. You can find all sorts there.
Is.
And if you have any trouble finding anything, feel free to bump either Krispy or I. Krispy's sort of a community pillar over there. I'm one of the moderators. And there are plenty of people to help out. Rimward lies. They are mostly harmless, but he is not one of those mostly. See. Okay, so now that we've established that kind of opener, we can actually move on to a proper melody.
Melody. Is there any, like, can you make the brown note in this? No.
Strictly speaking, no. I would need some very powerful equipment to generate the brown note.
Yeah. If it even actually exists.
So,
I know they tried to disprove it on Mythbusters.
Okay, so the brown note as in a specific note, no, it does not exist. You can have powerful enough sound waves to make someone shit themselves. But at that point, you're getting into, like, LRAD-style weaponry and stuff.
Which is, oh yeah, that's a fun one there, is the LRAD shit. Yeah, LRAD is pretty scary. I also just think of Soundwave from Transformers every time I think about it.
Autobots inferior, Decepticons superior.
There's one newer Transformers series I was watching clips of with Soundwave where he has a theme song he plays everywhere he goes. And like he plays it at fucking Shockwave to annoy him. 1 second.
I think it was Cybertronian or something where Soundwave, he was actually charismatic and he carried around a microphone and he was always like speaking into it and pointing at people.
I remember seeing clips of that.
Prime one was pretty badass. I think he was the Predator drone.
Oh, yeah, no, he was really good in Prime.
Like he never really, he rarely ever left, and he stayed on the brig. But when everybody was like, "Let's mutiny against Megatron,"
oh yeah, he was just
turns around and beats the ever-loving shit out of them.
Yeah,
doesn't say anything, and then just goes back to what he was doing. And like, okay, maybe not.
Oh yeah, I love that knockout. It's just like, which is another great character in that show. But he's just like, watch out for the quiet ones after he just beats the shit out of somebody.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is funny because his name is Soundwave.
Yeah, well, he gets a Sonic Blaster at one point. Hello, Seven. Welcome to the channel stream. Storm is taking the reins today and making music. as I need a break from streaming, and so I am just sitting here working on minis.
Yes.
Did you want to share those, Storm, or?
Yeah. Oh, right. Me?
No, you're fine. I mean, you're busy. You're busy doing shit. I just.
No, I know. I'm just thought I would show off a few of.
Yes, just to show that I'm still being creative. It's just, you know, it's funny.
We got a kidder.
I don't know if any. Oh.
The Furban Mech.
Yes, there's my cat. His name is Pudding. Well, he's one of my cats. I have two, but there he be. And there's what I'm currently working on, the Furban Mech and a Franken Mech, and then their Blood Asp.
Yes.
Blood Asp is a very fun mech.
And thankfully, I'm not part of any particularly bizarre Discord, save the Legion itself.
You'll be right. Pudding is. He's not even a year old yet. He will be turning a year old soon, but we yeah, he was basically, him and his litter were like a rescue from a farm, and we got him fairly young, so he was so much tinier when we brought him home, though. He's a big boy now.
Yes.
My wife calls him fat. I'm like, don't fat shame our son. We also have Yogurt. She's the princess of the house. She's mommy's favorite, so she gets all the love.
Well, that's Kitty.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's just funny because like she'll just be like glued to my wife half the time on the couch, or like we'll go to bed and she'll just hop up and just plop on her.
Jeez.
But she's very light. She's a very light, floofy kitty. I posted a picture of her once in Exemplars, like, this is the most beautiful cat I've ever seen. You know, I'll have to share that. Might as well share that.
To be fair,
well,
I think Exemplars thinks that of any cat he ever sees, but...
yeah, it's fair. I used to not be a cat person when I was young, but I definitely am one now, obviously. There she is. Her name is Yogurt. Well, I'm glad you found those cats when you did, especially in being in the garbage there. Yeah, him and his litter, they were at an abandoned farm. And you might have been able to see in the picture, but they unfortunately, a bunch of them had eye infections because of it, and they got drops and everything, and we're pretty sure you can still see it of that eye, but it's it's just a little bit, like, I suppose, wonky from having that infection as a kitten.
Oh, it's whoever was last streaming had the pet redeem disabled.
Oh, well, don't worry. I'll make sure to give him plenty of pets. He gets plenty of love. They both do. They are our babies, our fur babies.
Yes. Oh, and I wouldn't be doing Whacker a service here if I didn't say, Andrew!
Andrew!
I need an update on your fat, spoiled cats. Or Andy's internet died again. This is known to happen.
That is very possible. He's been quiet for a while. I've just kind of been rambling, I think. But,
Sorry. I was tearing the house up looking for one more dime so that I have $5 of dimes.
That's a lot of dime.
That's a
major damage.
Look, when I go Scrooge McDuck, I go Scrooge McDuck.
No, that's fair. I mean, you might as well, dude. Just take that shit to the bank.
Once a year, he starts tearing apart couches and things, looking for dimes and quarters and nickels. But yeah, you guys know how I got my cats, right? You guys remember?
Yeah, no, I think you should, Charles. I think you should draw stuff and post it. I encourage everyone in chat to draw or create or do whatever makes you happy in terms of creating stuff.
Andy, I don't recall you telling us that tale. Tell us that tale.
We do have an art channel if you want to do post stuff then in the aux. So sorry, continue.
Oh, yeah. I know someone dropped the kittens, these 2 kittens, not even in a box. They just put them in a pothole in the parking lot of where the store I worked at, and they brought it in. And I've been bitching about how like lonely I am living alone, and one of them ladies was like, "Why don't you take care of me?" And I said, "Yeah, sure, I'll go ahead," because I felt bad for them. And we had them fostered for 2 weeks because they were so small.
Aw.
Because they still needed milk. But after that, I've taken them in, and I've had them in. Binksy is a black cat. She's pretty fat, and she keeps to herself most of the time. But in the morning, she likes rolling around on my feet, and when I go to the bathroom, she just has to sit there. I have to hold her. I don't know why. She's like, she wants
Father,
to make sure I'm okay.
I must make sure your bowels work properly.
Yeah.
Yes,
Tiger. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, Father, I desire the smell of your bowels.
I hate everything you've just said.
Tiger is a brown striped cat, and she likes to crawl and walk all over me, but she rarely lets me hold her. And when it's about time to go to bed or wake up, she becomes more active. And like, if I start like reading stuff on my tablet while I'm going to bed, she'll start like putting her paw on my face.
Oh, she's that cat. Okay. Yeah, like I hear you talking to her when we're like in voice
she likes
chat.
to stomp on my keyboard all the time when she wants attention. I'm trying to train her not to do it, but I mean, she knows when the water bottle comes out that she's done bad. But I haven't done it to her when she's on the keyboard because I don't want to get the keyboard with it. And
that's. Oh, I mean, yeah, definitely would be hesitant to do that. Hi, DG. Welcome to stream. Storm is taking the reins today as I needed a break, so he's working on some music stuffs. Yeah, this sounds like it could be in an anime.
Yep.
Man, this sounded awesome for my mech to stomp out to during a mission. Unfortunately, it had a giant pair of silicon truck nuts dangling out.
So,
thanks, Cracker.
So for the audience, on Fridays I run a space opera game, and Krispy and Andy and Whacker are all in it, and Ninja Turtle and Whacker's characters decided to buy a giant pair of truck nuts for Andy's character's mech. Problem being that Andy's character treats that mech like a sacred artifact, because for him it is. So it's like, we bought you truck nuts to hang.
Sacred artifact, more like,
familial.
That's his mech,
Yeah.
Gotta buy first gear in your giant robot car, man. God, I missed that show.
Custom system for my own setting, based on a bit on a mix of Traveler and on the system in Elder Scrolls Morrowind.
There's definitely a bit of Escaflowne in there.
Well, that's the setting. I'm defining the system.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, if we're talking about crunch. I'm surprised you didn't look at Lancer at all.
So some of Lancer's art has gone into the inspiration, but I've never actually played Lancer.
I have not either, and I love the art, because I love the artist. He does the comic Kill 6 Billion Demons, which if you haven't seen that, I highly recommend checking that one out.
I get the impression that I like Lancer's art, but I actually probably wouldn't like its setting based on the lore I've been told.
I need to get the books myself. I want the books just so I can have the art, because it's really awesome art.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a sucker for that, like, I love when settings get weird and psychedelic like that. It makes things interesting. Like The Fifth Element, for example. it has kind of that vibe to it.
Yeah. I definitely like the Fifth Element's like vibe. The other sci-fis I've seen that kind of have that same vibe are Farscape and Lex, but Lex is like grotesque and Farscape is just kind of obscure.
I do know about Farscape. I've never seen it, but I know what you mean. Because they have like the living spaceships and shit in that.
Yeah.
It's that one particular spaceship that's living.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a essentially just like a living species.
Yeah, like a
like
space whale that's hollowed out a bit.
Yeah. It's like, please stay in my prostate.
There's like a race of these like sentient cephalopods that like literally get attached to her, like their insides, so they can't move around. You know, they're stuck there in that ship, but they see it as a great honor to be like piloting in.
Yeah, to the point where the character's name is Pilot.
I forgot why. It could be something like we don't have names or something like that. But he's usually like almost like one of the wiser ones, and like there's a blue alien lady who's kind of like a monk of some sort. She's usually the one.
Yeah, she's a living plant, if I recall correctly.
I don't remember the plant part.
See, I love that shit, dude. It's just like such a weird, surreal setting.
Well, there's this little slug caterpillar guy that's a noble, and he's like, just like,
What?
oh, I can't believe I'm here with you prisoners. Oh, God, this is terrible. And then you have the guy that's basically a Klingon with a bit of tentacles. Like, think of a Predator and a Klingon mixed together.
That sounds interesting. Inappropriate.
Okay, so let's see.
Alright, I was pretty much on the dot. $21.50 worth of coins. I still got a few, but not
Excellente.
Seems like SRW Addict knows what we're talking about. And yes, Escaflowne for the win, SRW Addict.
Yeah, I've been watching it for the first time with Storm and Andy, and I feel like I've said before where it's like I mean, I'm just talking about settings and stuff, obviously, but I feel like I've said before where it's like I wish I would see more settings, fantasy settings, where it's not all Tolkien-esque. And Escaflowne has definitely been scratching that itch for me because it's got mecha and stuff, but it's very much a fantasy setting. So I've really been enjoying it. It's very out there. I love it.
Yep. Yeah, that is one bit of inspiration I derived from it, is that the mechs in my setting are a lot more so even than Battletech, but a lot more like Escaflowne and Evangelion. If you were to strip away the armor, there's as much like organic components to the mech as there is machine.
Ah, it's one of those.
But it's like it's still a machine, like, but it's literal musculature.
Like a construct almost, or like a,
yeah.
I guess for lack of a better term, like a golem.
Yeah. It's also why in the setting they are called Mako, or Mobile Armored Combat Ordnance.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like me some fantasy mecha. Definitely would love to see more of it. I'm sure there's other stuff out there. I've seen some art from what looks like fantasy-esque settings. Like, I like the look of the mechs in 5-star stories, although I don't know if that's necessarily fantasy.
Okay, so let's see, we have kind of a main pulse going here. I have not checked out Magic Knight Ray Earth SRW, but somebody has told me to do so, so I shall. Or that is the third advice to see it I have been given.
I wonder if that's... Hold on. I want to Google it real quick just so I can see if it's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, whenever I hear an advice to watch something a third time, then I tend to take it.
That is not the series I was thinking of, but this definitely is like gives me a magical girl vibe.
I posted that video about that one manga, like Witch Hat something. It's an old manga my sister said a friend that I should look into. It's called Half Dragon.
Yeah. I've not heard of that.
It's like Half Dragon something. I can't quite remember the name. Yeah, it does have that art or addict. Escaflowne looks like, what is it? Shonen is for young men, whereas
Shoujo is for young girls.
Yeah, shoujo. Like Escaflowne looks like it's a shoujo, but it almost feels like it like feels like a shonen, but it looks like a shoujo.
So that is not uncommon from that time period, because Escaflowne and Inuyasha both come from what I call a sort of pre-version of the Netflix and chill vibe. And what I mean by that is you create something that has action, so it's going to have the male audience's attention, but that is otherwise kind of driven by a romantic subplot, and all of the male characters are super handsome, so it attracts the female portion of the audience. Or I guess I should say the male-attracted portion of the audience. So
I was gonna say...
Exactly, I think Digi has the right of it there. So, like, if you watch American shows like that, like, think of... Well, honestly, the way the original Star Trek was made, you have a bunch of action stuff being done by a bunch of lonely, wounded men with strong I-can-fix-him energy.
I can fix him!
And then, you think of, say, like, Supernatural, where it's two wounded young men with a whole lot of that, again, I-can-fix-him energy.
And then you have Dexter, which is very much an
That's not an I-can-fix-him, that's a runaway girl.
It is for certain people. Like, there's a bunch of interesting serial killer groupies out there, but I don't know if that's a conversation for Twitch.
I mean, it's a reality.
Yeah. Supernatural is not a show I ever really got into. I've seen episodes of it, but I can imagine it's one of those shows that goes too long.
The first 5 seasons, mwah, chef's kiss. Every season after that, well, there are good episodes.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It went on way too long.
Yeah, like a lot of shows, but...
Now, that said, to be fair to it, the episodes were still very much fun, but as a cohesive, arcing story, no, it lost all its sense of itself.
It's like X-Files. Like, X-Files is one of those shows where it's like... Honestly, I think the problem is that they kind of didn't know where they wanted to take the story. Did they want to do, like, government conspiracy? Did they want to do all paranormal? Did they want to do just, like, this or that? And it kind of dragged the plot all over the place.
Yeah, very much so.
Although I do like to. My headcanon is that the season where Mulder is missing was actually like him waking up and he's in the show Californication. Because that show, holy shit, that show is just like, oh my god. My wife and I have been watching it, and it's been a very interesting show to watch. Was you see David Duchovny just doing things like cocaine off a stripper's ass.
Although I will say, the best part of Supernatural for me was the character of Castiel, the angel who's kind of trying to understand human behavior because he can't. And
hey, ass butt.
Well, the hey ass butt thing, but I think my favorite moment is like he just comes stumbling in and he looks horrible, and Sam's like, "Dude, Cass, what happened?" "I ran into a liquor outlet, and I drank it."
The whole outlet. He's having a fucking day, that's for sure. Starts talking like Elvis, like, oh.
Okay, so now we do our final iteration. I always wonder what these streams are like for people because, like, unfortunately with music, there is a lot of repetition you have to be ready for.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm like that too when I draw, where it's like, you know, I part of the reason why I try to stick to sketches that I can just like do or doodles I can do really quickly is because it's just like I feel like I'm just boring people by going through all the details. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I tend to beat myself up a lot about shit, but it's just like is this you do have that sort of subconscious thought where it's like, are people enjoying this? Is this fun for them to watch?
Yeah.
I mean, I certainly would. Well, I guess it would be kind of redundant to play music in the background when you're working on music.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I tend to try to have background music for my streams.
Actually, I mean, I do got some news for myself. Like, I finally got the rest of that piano out of the back room.
Excellent.
Hey.
So I've been able to rearrange a bunch of boxes and stuff to clear out the hobby room that I made. So hopefully
Sweet.
I'll be able to start working on shit.
Do it, man. The minis you've been showing me, I definitely think you should get back into doing it because you're really good at it.
I do. I just, right now is...
I mean, yeah, I know it. Shit happens.
One of the big projects I want to do is get a giant super soaker gun and then a bunch of like little guns, cheap, and just glue them together into like a giant spaceship.
Oh yeah, just like kit bash something. I bet
because
yeah, no, dude, that'd be so cool.
At those toy plastic water guns, I just think like I could turn that into a spaceship.
Dude, I used to do that shit all the time. Was just like imagine like X or Y thing as like, oh, this is a spaceship, or like this is,
Hell, I used to imagine a channel changer as a space carrier where all the buttons were like a part where ships, like little fighters, would fly out of.
Yeah, no, I totally feel you on that one. There's I don't know what the artist's name is, but I've definitely seen like a bunch of pictures where someone's turned like everyday objects into spaceships, and it's so much fun. Like they took a shampoo bottle and it just looks like something out of Homeworld.
Oh yeah. There are a lot of kit bashers on YouTube. One I like to follow is Bill Make Stuff. He does once a year. He does the Big Bot Bash, which I kind of wish to take part of, but I never get around to. But basically, you just take a bunch of garbage and plastic and shit, and you slap together and make it. He has like, okay, you know how I have the Kaiju Maker rule set?
Yeah.
He has something like that for robots, except you roll a d20, and for each piece, there's like for hands, arms, legs, themes, eyes.
Nice. Oh, we're getting rated apparently.
Woohoo! Hey, storytelling tree.
Party of one.
It's like the scene from Pulp Fiction where the guy comes out of the bathroom with the revolver.
Hey, what's going on here?
I'm walking there.
Hey, honey.
I knew that was coming as soon as you did the voice. I was like, we're gonna get into fucking Watto, aren't we? Man, this heat makes you tired, I'll tell you what. Or at least being out in it does.
It does, doesn't it?
I wasn't even outside like too long this afternoon and I feel tired. I mean, I've also had, you know, a strong beer, but as well, I was feeling tired before that. Celtic, this is Storm making music. I needed a break today, and rather than just not have a stream, I figured, you know, Storm, why not make some music? So that's what we're working on here.
Okay, and I'm going to call that it for the length of the song.
Just a matter of...
Now we're going to start arranging.
Oh.
And actually, we're going to do ourselves a favor, because I have this habit called climbing, which is where I keep making the end part of the next phrase higher. So the song is now really fucking high pitch. So we're going to just drag that back down to some normalcy.
Probably a good idea there.
We're going to give ourselves a listen through. And then from there, we're going to start arranging. And actually, we're going to bring the whole thing up a step, or an octave.
All right. Lay it on us.
And actually, we're going to adjust our key real quick. There we go.
Sound pretty good.
Doing a bit of a Sawano drop here.
I don't know what that is.
It's... If you know your music from, like, certain animes like Attack on Titan or The Heroic Age, the composer Sawano is known for doing these two-measure drops with very large orchestral explosion.
One of those. Okay, I get you.
Explode!
Basically the action starts now kind of thing. It's kind of funny because it's one of the few uses outside of dance music I see for a drop, because a lot of times people just do drops because they're traditional. We could try a banjo with it. I was thinking guitar almost, but we'll see. But yeah, usually drops in music are to signify, like, hey, it's time to start the dance. But a lot of people keep them as a traditional thing, which is silly, because a lot of times now they're used in music that isn't even dance music.
Yes, that Discord ping was from stream, I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
I also
yeah. Those are my Discord pings. You can ignore those. Someone else who knows Hero Cage. This brings me a happy.
Do you hear them screaming? Sorry, I live relatively close to a highway, and
Oh no, you're fine.
sometimes you can hear like reverberation of a particularly loud vehicle.
Although you said that as the music was building in drama, and so I'm like hearing a sample in the background, like, do you hear them screaming, Clarice? Do you still hear the lambs screaming?
So, I watched a movie the other night called Gingerbread Man 3, and it's a horror movie about a killer gingerbread man. And it opens with a legitimate, like a literal beat-for-beat parody remake of the asylum scene from Silence of the Lambs. And there's like all these psychotic pastries there. And then she goes to the gingerbread guy's like cell, and it's end up in the fucking thing like Hannibal Lecter. It's just ridiculous.
That is delightful. Okay, we are going to take a brief bio break, as this is the halfway point, and then we're going to start arranging.
Yeah.
By the way, Krispy,
Yeah.
I listened to that podcast of the Andreessen affair.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Need a good chair, man.
It pretty seemed like one of your more typical abductions.
I mean, it's very psychedelic, that's for sure. For chat's reference, I recommended Andy listen to a podcast about a certain alien abduction because we're weird like that, and yeah. We'll know if Whacker's still in the chat too, because he'll start being like, actually.
Oh God!
That's right, viewers.
Aliens
Whacker.
like art. He can't see it, so he doesn't believe it.
Wow, that is very accurate. SRW, he'll be right back. He's taking a bathroom break. I'm not sure what program he's using off the top of my head, just looking at it, but yeah, that's Whacker.
I return.
Hello. You've been asked, Storm, what program you're using for the music, by the way.
FL Studio Edition 21. Currently just using a standard piano synth for the purpose of composing, but we are about to start actually choosing instruments here. So, let us go to one of my favorite tools.
You know, that video of what was it? Gundam Thunderbolt, where it's "That's Life."
Oh, that one. That's a pretty good one.
That's brutal. Like that's why I don't watch Gundam anymore. It's just so fucking brutal.
Oh, they definitely make Thunderbolt pretty fucking brutal.
Do you like this character? Good.
Guess what? They have psychological trauma now.
Or they're dead. They've been pasted on the floor.
Also, very much like Gundam. That's the thing. That's the thing I am more conscious of when I watch Gundam these days. They go for cockpit kills so fucking often. Like, every time they stab a Gundam in the stomach, it's just like, well, someone just got obliterated in the worst way possible.
Well, in Gundam, like that's where the because a headshot just takes out like most of the sensors.
Yeah.
And sometimes they just open up their cockpit so that they can see, but I think sometimes they have cameras on the chest plate.
FM piano.
Yeah, that may be very possible. They don't necessarily point to that, but I can see it.
Okay.
I mean,
so we're going to do a quick experiment just for my amusement based on something that is requested by Mr. Digiman, which is to play at least that last section as if this entire thing was done on banjo. Actually, I may use the banjo for a highlighting instrument, but not as the main.
oh yeah, man, go for it. That sounds some pretty solid banjo.
Yes, that is Yojo.
I'm imagining like a Gundam series or a mech series on a backwater planet. And it's just a bunch of like Cajun swamp people with mechs.
I just imagine like a Gundam's head as an airboat.
Yeah, fight them giant gators.
I like that mess team. Absolutely, that I could see that as part of it. But also, I do like the idea of a Gundam airboat.
MSA, but one of the pilots is just wearing nothing but denim overalls with one of the straps off.
And everyone's got a Cajun accent.
Welcome to the bayou.
Oh,
We got fun games.
The Xeon mobile suits look like crawdads. See, Mega Sexual Orbit Cajun, now we're onto something, because that would absolutely work. I could see Mega like suplexing a giant catfish in the fucking Louisiana swamps.
Ooh, I like that last one.
This one?
No, before that? Yeah. I mean, that's if you were like making a song for the Super Nintendo. But...
Yeah, that definitely. Which, I mean, you can do chiptunes with this stuff. I do play with that sometimes. Whacker will be pleased that the instrument you liked is called the Moron's organ.
See, I think I want to just back up to what you said. The words "whacker" and "please" being in the same sentence there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna die. Didn't like that one.
Oh. That's got some 80s cred. 1 second.
You got the choir.
That may be added in. Right now we're selecting core instruments, but yeah.
They're singing Freebird.
Okay. Fallout game set in Memphis.
That would be pretty rad. That or Louisiana. Or like Fallout New Orleans. Yes. There has to be a fucking cult in the Bass Pro Shop pyramid.
There was the Fallout for Fallout 3.
Point Lookout.
Yeah.
Where you end up in like the Virginia swamps.
I actually I liked that DLC when I played. The whole sequence where you like trip balls is pretty great the first time you go through it. But I also went with like the unbreakable winterized T-51 power armor, so things got interesting. Oh, well, there is a Fallout Miami mod for Fallout 4 that was the thing. I don't know if it's still going. I thought I could be wrong, but the last I heard, it kind of fell apart. Maybe I'm wrong, but
Mayhap, mayhap not. This I do not know.
I know Fallout London is a thing, and man, that's pretty fun. I need to get back into playing that.
So we're going to add a different instrument. We're going to citrus.
Yeah, Old War Blues is New Vegas. You're right. But I think you do get part of your brain removed in Point Lookout. That I do remember. You get it back at like the end in like a jar. Man, it's the worst Uber ever. They take part of your brain. I think it's Point Lookout does it when you're tripping balls. That's right, because then you wake up and you're like, oh, my head hurts. And it's just like, yo, brain. Now I'm watching a guy eat paper in a fucking commercial because advertising is stupid.
You know what? Fuck this. We're gonna make our own.
Make our own what?
Synthesizer.
Hey! I'll get my theremin. I actually kind of want a theremin. They look like fun. I probably wouldn't get very good with it, but it'd be fun to play with. this?
Not
Anything
much,
exciting?
except for me just messing with how this will sound.
Whacker, I have a question. How do you know what a Smurf farting sounds like?
Because
You little,
Whacker's
like-
Gargamel the whole time.
He wants to capture the Smurfs so they can fart in his face.
He wants he wants Smurfette's bathwater.
I'm going to get you those Smurfs.
I'm going to lick them toesies.
All right, Krispy.
Yeah.
So you know how alchemy is all like transmuting shit and like making chemicals and other crap, right?
I hate the idea of a Smurf jet jar. Why'd you have to say the Smurfette jar? Oh, God.
Charles.
Sorry, Andy, continue.
Charles.
I'm wrenching
Charles.
it. Charles. Do
Go
we have
to the
call you
corner.
out?
Charles.
Go to the corner and think about what you've done. Nope. Keep your hands where I can see them.
Okay, so
Alright.
I just realized based on that I am going to instead actually use an organ because that sounded better as an organ. So let's do that.
Where's my kilt riding a...
I don't know what this says about me, but you said using an organ, and I thought of Jeffrey Dahmer. Andy, what were you going to say?
All right, so you know the whole thing about alchemy and all that, and like the ultimate goal for alchemy is to turn like lead into gold, right?
Yeah.
And you need the philosopher's I was gonna say the philosopher's phone, the philosopher's stone,
The falafel stone.
but
Yeah.
like, what if the philosopher's stone is like a piece of uranium?
That may very well be a thing.
Because
and
like the uranium is bombarding whatever it is with like electrons, and you know the electrons might attach to stuff and turn into another element, and they're like, look at this shit, it must be magic.
I was just re-listening. I was just listening to a podcast today and it reminded me of the Radium Girls, and I just God, the one where the doctor essentially just pulled her jaw off because of how bad she got irradiated is
I
so
saw
fucked.
Yeah, I saw a documentary on like uranium in everyday use back then, and like they were painting glow in the dark paint on watches.
That's the one I'm talking about. The Radium
Yeah.
Girls. They're the ones who were doing that.
Yeah,
And
they were, like,
the one would lick the paintbrush in between strokes, and that's the one whose jaw fell off.
yeah.
Yeah, Charles, I think they did actually. So we have real life alchemy. We made alchemy happen with fucking particle accelerators, which is rad as shit.
I don't know about that, but that'd be fun.
No, I think we actually did. I think they actually sort of did do that in a particle accelerator. It's insane what you can do with nuclear.
probably like
physics.
one molecule of lead and gold.
We have synthesized a grain of gold in your urethra.
It cost $1 billion to make $200 worth of gold.
It's like, wait a minute. Well, I know there's elements that we've created through nuclear detonations. Like, I think there's a kind of glass or something that's been created because of it. Or like the material, the meltdown in the Chernobyl reactor. I don't know if that's considered an element or not, but it's definitely
I keep
something.
thinking like
I think that's a
I can't remember
molecule.
how, but you can like, can't you make atoms like step up or down by like adding a photon or something like that to it?
If you play jazzercise for them, I think it does.
I can't quite remember. It's been a long time since I've like.
Yeah, that's it, Whacker. Trinitite tight. Yeah, that's it. That's what I'm thinking of. Also, Andy, I don't know how to tell you this. I don't think we're nuclear physicists, so we might be just talking out of our ass here.
No.
Look, all I know is hot water go burr. I'm not, like, I mean, I know who Caiaphas Cain is. I don't know. I feel like you could get more interesting people from 40K to leave the 50 first.
Kai Kai Cassius Kane, hero of the Imperium.
Look at Whacker being all scientific and shit while he's eating glue. Oh, I know who Caiaphas Kane is. Don't get me wrong. I don't know. I prefer Gaunt personally. He's more fun. Because he's just like, oh, we gotta kill this giant pyramid-shaped super tank. Fuck it, let's go. I mean, I'd say there's a lot more to it than that, Charles, than just bad bureaucracy. I mean, don't forget 3 Mile Island happened. Which, fun fact about 3 Mile Island, they shut it down a couple years ago, and now they're reactivating it.
I mean, I heard.
Why
that,
is
like,
Robot Jox $93 on Blu-ray? Sorry, continue, Andy.
I heard that not much really happened to 3 Mile Island.
It really didn't. It's kind of overblown. And I'm saying that having lived... I'm not in the shadow of it, but it's pretty close to me, in a sense, without trying to dox myself. Yeah, it really was not as bad as it was made out to be. The problem with it is just like in the public consciousness was kind of primed for it, because literally right before it happened, this movie called The China Syndrome came out. And I'm not from Florida, you asshole. You're the one who's from Florida, you old man, you retiree.
Don't talk to your elders that way, Krispy.
Is it never mind, I'm not gonna say what I was just thinking. But yeah, no, it was, like, literally right before there was this movie about, like, a power plant melting down called China Syndrome that came out. And certain things involving public opinion kind of turned the public off. And then, of course, you have shit like Chernobyl happen, and then, yeah. Regardless of what, like, obviously, I mean, there was lots of Chernobyl. Like, that was a whole fucking thing, obviously. But, no, TMI is... It really was not as bad as it was made out to be. Yes, the reactor had a partial meltdown, but that plant has run from then until, I think, what was it, like 2019 or something is when they decided to decommission it, and now they're recommissioning it. Because I guess Microsoft wants to use it for their AI research.
We're going to have an AI run a nuclear reactor. Nothing wrong will happen here.
Well,
thousands of science fiction written about what'll happen when robots go rogue.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that definitely kind of raised some eyebrows with me. Not least of which because I have problems with AI, which, I mean, if you've listened to this stream long enough, you know how I feel about that. But, I mean, I'm fine with them reactivating it, especially if they, like, take that excess power and put it back in the grid, because I think nuclear power is fine as long as you do it right and smart, and you're not stupid about it, where you're like, what's containment Lamau XD? Let's build this air-cooled reactor. What do you mean the safety button doesn't work?
Also, incidentally, Chernobyl, very interesting show, if a smidge disturbing in parts.
Yeah. Whacker, I swear to God, I'm going to mail you a USB with 50,000 iterations of Bonzi Buddy on it.
That's almost as threatening as Wide Tom's JPEG.
Well, Chernobyl's still going, as far as I'm aware. But there is that problem, yeah.
You know, Crispy, if you want the absolute one of the most horrifying, like, renditions of AI gone rogue,
I don't.
Read or watch or play I have no mouth and I must scream.
Oh boy. I mean, that wouldn't surprise me if there was more to the... Because I don't know about... I mean, it's not just Chernobyl, but there's some stories I've heard where it's like, why did they leave out this? This is the most insane part. But you know, they'd probably leave it out because it's believability. Because you'll put that in a show and people will be like, there's no way that happened. And then you look into history and you're like, oh shit. This actually did happen. I mean, there was still plenty of absurd shit in there, like, you know...
You know what else is absurd?
What?
These prices!
God damn it, I knew that was good.
See, this is just proof that we share, like, a quantum brain cell.
Oh, we absolutely do.
Just don't look at it.
No, it's like the dead eyes in it. If you look into it, bad things happen.
But when I mean quantum, I mean, like, it's that shit, like, it behaves differently when you look at it or something, or when you observe it.
I'm quantistic. Autistic on a quantum level. There's so many little cracks and crevices in these minis. Which would be great if I wasn't doing an elaborate paint job like I was for the Frankenmech that Storm posted. Because I got a snort as a regular lance, so I'm just doing, like, my whole thought for just give them all goofy as fuck paint jobs. Whacker, just because you don't believe in aliens doesn't mean they aren't there. You wet blanket ass.
Whacker, if you're going to trash talk us, you might as well just get in here and do it.
Yeah, really, like, what's this third wheel bullshit?
Or did your ass finally stop fitting through the door?
Quantum physics is interesting and also, like, very psychedelic. Probably put too much stock in it. It's definitely become kind of a buzzword, quantum has, but I don't know. I think it's interesting. Well, your imaginary friend's a dick.
When I reach for the stars.
I'm concerned about what Droopy's about to say. Butterfly in the sky. I like how we called Whacker out. He's just gone quiet. This definitely sounds like anime music.
Actually, this one, the ship they're on is one that they're essentially getting the basic version of the ship and they get to upgrade it as it goes. So, no, they are not on the War Crime Express yet, and that is for them to decide, though. This has been deemed, roughly speaking, a Paragon and or roughly at least good guy-ish game.
Yeah, I don't think the captain's gonna like that if we decide to just like, let's carpet nuke this planet.
Like, I'm not expecting you guys to be, like, super Paragonistic, but, like...
Oh, hell no!
At some point, it's just like, this is probably not a criminal group.
There's being a rogue and then there's being a dickhead. And, yeah. I mean, I will say the character in our Star Wars game I played was very impulsive with violence, but at the same time, you know, I didn't want to play a complete sociopath.
Oh yeah, no. This party was brought together by a businessman who was like, "You're all qualified. We're starting ships off with crews. You pay off your ship. You get to have the ship and be a company of your own. We, of course, make profit off of the ship, and also in the long term, maybe have you guys as allies for various jobs. And we've created a competent force of contractors we can call upon at a moment's notice." So, yeah, no, this is much more, hey, we started a business. Welcome to the campaign.
I'm a businessman. I'm a legitimate businessman. I'm interested to see where the game goes. Also, I am curious if the captain's gonna get a mech or not. She's not really a mech pilot, I don't think. She does. I would be interested to see her have a mech that can channel her nightmare powers, but
they do exist in the setting.
Oh, I don't doubt it. Got to. I'm just curious what other powers I'm going to be able to get, too. Yeah, my character is the captain of the ship, and she has, like, shadowy, nightmarish powers. Because there's... how does the magic work in your system again? It's like you have to have, like, a trauma?
So, well, it's not just trauma, it's specifically magic is based on fear and phobia. So, yes. What you get magical power over is the thing that you are most afraid of. And she, because the powers manifested when she was still young, like most of them do, was afraid of the things she couldn't see in the dark, the things that go bump in the night, etc. So, like, if there's a pyromancer in setting, it's because they were someone who was deeply afraid of fire. In her case, she was afraid enough of the monsters under the bed that they became very real.
Fucking tulpamancer, man.
Essentially.
It's definitely a change of pace from characters I've played in the past, but I'm enjoying it. I haven't really kind of figured out her personality quite yet. Because that kind of happens with playtime, but...
Yeah.
I've tried to, like, be less impulsive more and more when I play games and just kind of be like, what would I do in this situation? Which doesn't always happen, because my one time we were playing a Delta Green game, and my thought of how to escape our pursuers is, let's set fire to this McDonald's. But it's also Delta Green, so at some point, you know, you're gonna have to set shit on fire. Because don't care what Lovecraftian horror is, everything burns. That's a hell of a wake up if you have an AI controlling the missile base.
I've got it easy.
Well, you're definitely going to be more like the bruise, the muscle, or the murder hobo, for lack of a better term.
I mean, one of the best ways to describe Arden is a soldier boy.
Up in this hoe.
Because you've got Arden, and then you've got, like, basically what, Anakin Skywalker and
well, not actually Anakin, but Verujan. We're just using Anakin as a fill-in because Juice hasn't figured out his character picture yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
you've kind of like got Inquisitors / Jedi and Battle Cat Man, like 8-foot tall Battle Cat Man.
Yeah, the party's barbarian is a Thundercat. Almost literally. He's playing.
I'm trying to remember the name of my character, the name of the character whose art I'm using, but
Yeah.
Arden is a war orphan picked up by a traveling paramilitary group and basically raised by a mercenary band, kind of.
That's it. All right. Yeah. No. My character essentially looks like the main character from Cyber 6. So, kind of where my head was at with that. Your dude is essentially like Jinro the Wolf Brigade right now with that power armor.
Jinro the
now
Wolf
you
Brigade
do-
wouldn't be a bad way to describe Arden, at least fighting style-wise.
What Andy showed me, that's what it sounds like he's going for. I think he actually sent me pictures of that. So, which I mean, hey, I'm for. Gonna have for muscle. We're gonna have muscle. He needs to be prepared for it. And that's
It's
it.
funny. I've got most of my points in rifle, but I've rarely fired it.
Mm-hmm. We could also do some rebuilding if you're finding that your character acts a certain way different than what you intended.
Well, so far we
That's
haven't really been on like a typical Warzone battlefield, and more like up close personal.
Yeah, it's not exactly been super elaborate. I mean, we've had combat, but it's more been like in a ship. So,
Also, you've got enough, like, to be honest, you've got enough like close combat specialists that.
I mean, that's kind of my thing. It's like I figure that's kind of one of Arden's strengths is something like that. Like he'd be good for close combat.
Yeah, like I said, like the Jedi and Claymore Thundercat. So
I love that.
what was the guy that you said? George from
Oh yeah, from Halo Reach, George.
Yeah, George from Halo Reach.
Yeah, basically.
I don't have a mini machine gun. I just have a rifle, but
Yeah, he's playing a. Yeah, sort of. Like, think of George from Halo Reach if Jinro the Wolf Brigade.
I dig it.
Yeah.
The BPL, we are potent degenerates.
to be honest, I think of the main character from Full Metal Panic.
Oh, Sosuke. Yeah.
Sajo Shosuke.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
like very good soldier, maybe not so good in the social.
I thought you were gonna say very good social. I'm like, no, absolutely not. Yeah, no, he's good at shooting. He's good at being a soldier, but nothing else.
He does have his like he likes picking up the toy mech build that he likes from his units and such.
Ah.
Yeah, so for the for the audience there, imagine mech pilot who also collects Gunpla.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, but the Gunpla are like actual machines that he's seen. He has like
In the setting,
other
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's very bad at it. Or at least haven't had to roll on it, but I imagine like
We're playing in the Aux. We've been playing a game called called Red Man. I don't know if you guys have heard of that one. It's like a post-apocalyptic zombie game. But the nice thing about it is it's very like kind of casual. It's very drop in and drop out with it, where it's just like you're essentially like it's essentially like a kind of like flavor of the week thing where each session is kind of you going on different missions and such. Usually to retrieve things, and I'm essentially playing Schmeagol as like a crazed survivor. Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. Like Shepard with the model ships. That makes sense. Oh my god, my cat's been trying to get you to take the bag behind me. So their non-lethal became somewhat less lethal. Let's see. Sounds like System Shock 2, I was saying, which is not a bad thing for. Oh wow, I'm reading way back in chat. Holy shit. You made Discount Dan in D&D. I'm curious to know what that's like. I'm assuming he's a rogue, because of course he'd be.
High charisma. Trying to sell shit that doesn't work.
Yeah, have to be.
It's possibly stab goblin armor.
I could definitely see you playing like Discount Dan, being like a snake oil salesman, and that's why the party has to go different places, not because you have a quest, because he keeps getting run out of town. It's like just gotta stay one step ahead of the law. You know, it's a game that I've always wanted to play on tabletop. Is Everyone is John. You guys heard of that one?
That one, no.
It's kind of like a more. It's not a super complex system. Essentially, the DM is playing a guy named John, and you're all the voices in his head. And each of you have your own obsession that you're trying to achieve. You know, like being an arsonist, or I don't know, pissing in public or what have you.
It kind of reminds me of Disco Elysium.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it gets real depraved. Depending on.
We did a game like that where we were all of the shamans that killed themselves to become the Emperor.
Shaman time.
So we were all the different voices in the Emperor of Mankind's head for 40K.
Yeah, that sounds a lot like Everyone is John, only 40K. I bet that got interesting.
And then during the second half of the campaign, we were each of the Primarchs, but it was custom Primarchs, so it was like 40K, but your version of it.
I am Primarch Sonic too.
Thankfully, nobody went down that path of darkness.
Just to fuck with people.
Let me guess, Stormsong. You were this Primarch that specialized in cavalry raids.
No, I was the samurai.
That also tracks.
So you were the weak.
Yep.
The science facts that we missed, Whacker, is that scientifically you're a bitch.
It has been observed multiple times and proven.
There's empirical evidence to support our claims. Exhibit A, you in this Discord. Exhibit B.
Pizza. Ooh, pizza.
I want some pizza. Whacker, mail me pizza.
Nothing like a good old God. You know, if he knows your address.
Don't remind me. Jay Witt knows my address too, and he sent me a Mom Against Cat Boys t-shirt.
Haha!
Fire ant pizza.
Yay. Ones are dead and fried and cooked. A lot of protein.
Reminded me of last night when
That's a Lovecraftian nightmare to have. Like you and like millions or thousands of of your kind just drop from the sky onto a giant planet.
Dude, this is turning into some Werner Herzog shit. I'm not sure if I'm here for it.
It's like you and your kind are like dropped from the sky into a giant plate of food, and then you're put in an oven, and you're like,
Oh my god. That literally is like a Werner Herzog kind of deal.
Werner Herzog was an interesting, if disturbing, individual.
Most of those guys tend to be. It's just like, oh, they're very artur. They think very philosophically. They're always bad shit because dipping into that toe to that does shit to you. Why do you think everyone that's seen an alien is crazy? Well, no, that's not true. But...
Okay, so I have sort of exhausted my ears at this point. I am pleased that the entire length of the song is written, so now it's just me negotiating with this throughout the week and not doing so on headphones.
Yeah.
But no, this is actually further than I've gotten on stream with the song, because we got the composition all the way through to the end. So
hey, that's nice.
My hope is I can actually finish this one up and bring it in to polish up and throw at people for things.
Nice. Made some good progress today.
Look
hey, I mean, a song throws it at somebody.
Also, if it turns into that song from Undertale, I'll be very upset.
Yeah, no. So, all right. Well, thank you all for coming.
I figured if we want to end it early. Yeah, thank you everybody for coming, and we appreciate you being with us today. Glad Storm got a chance to work on stuff, and I appreciate being able to kind of take a breather. But hopefully he'll be next week doing some drawing. So we will see you guys then.
All right.
Until then, y'all take it easy.
Yep. Y'all be good. Y'all be kind. You all don't explode. And remember,
bye.
Krispy himself is the best bacon.
Yeah.
I'm real crispy.
Oh yeah, yeet!